Thank you. Upstate Venture Connect is a nonprofit. It's my unpaid day job, but I approach the question of how to create startups and jobs more through my lens as a Silicon Valley entrepreneur. A company that I founded 25 years ago, TriNet, is today the largest cloud-based HR services provider in the country. We have about 2,500 employees, 8,000 customers, about $1 billion a year in revenue, and we're in registration to do an initial public offering. And part of my entrepreneurial story is I moved my family from Silicon Valley, where I started the company, back to my hometown of Little Falls, which is about an hour west of here. Did that 13 years ago. And for 10 years, I did the cross-country commute. And throughout that entire time of going back and forth to Silicon Valley to run my company, I spent a lot of time thinking about what's wrong with this picture here in upstate New York, where we have so much brain power, so much intellectual capacity, 115 colleges and universities, 500,000 college students, huge amounts of R&D, both corporate and academic, close proximity to Wall Street and the capital markets there. These are all things that we should be creating thousands, if not tens of thousands of startup companies. And yet, if you look at the metric of venture capital and realize that venture capital, which is institutional money, sophisticated money going into the fastest growing and most promising startups in early stage companies, of the 16 regions tracked for venture capital, upstate New York is dead last, number 16 of 16. In fact, the number 15 region, the four-state region of Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas, generates more venture capital-backed companies than upstate New York. For me, there's something wrong with that picture. So when I try to peel back the layers of why is it we are so far behind, and thought about what I had been through in my own Silicon Valley journey, I essentially came down to the conclusion our biggest issues are not so much that we lack the intellectual brain power or even the capital, because there are lots of sources of capital here. But in fact, their reasons are more cultural. And the biggest obstacle to startup success here is that it's too difficult for first-time entrepreneurs to get connected to the right people who can help them. So that's what my mission is at Upstate Venture Connect, is finding ways in which we can create scalable infrastructure across the entire upstate region so that first-time entrepreneurs who need very specialized help in whatever their business opportunity is have a chance of doing that. And that's a community issue. It's not so much an entrepreneurial issue. I say community because everyone here is in a position to help. And that can be done in a variety of ways. There are ways to plug in, such as going outside of whatever your silo is. If you're within one university setting, what's happening in the other startup community activities in this town and in this region? So we created a community calendar, which you can see on our website at uvc.org, that will give you a sense of the activities going on throughout the entire region. So get out and plug in. Meet people. Think about the opportunity to introduce people that you run into and connect them with others that you know. Very good way to help. Those of you that are experienced entrepreneurs and can mentor and help early stage companies, especially successful entrepreneurs that have exited. We have a variety of things we do at Upstate Venture Connect to identify those people and help them get connected to the right startup. Obviously, if you have financial means and can invest, that's another way to really plug in and help. But even if you like to volunteer, helping to promote what are the different startup activities going on and how to curate some of these things to spread the visibility, we can help you plug in. Can our region change from being dead last, number 16 of 16, to something higher in that venture capital index? Absolutely. In fact, I'd look at the city of Boulder, Colorado as a great case study. More than 10 years ago, that place was not something that was on the map with regards to venture capital, and yet today, it is the third-ranked city in the metric of venture capital per capita in the U.S. And how do they get there? By working really hard at creating a community where experienced entrepreneurs stepped up and are very active in helping startups and opened up a lot of sources of capital in both angel and eventually institutional. and have a really connected community. We can do the same in Upstate. Join us.